Independence Rock, the Oregon Trail landmark that told 1,000 stories. In the heart of Wyoming's wild plains stands a giant granite sentinel, a place where the past is literally carved into stone. Pioneer names remain long after their wagons disappeared into the wilderness. This is Independence Rock, one of the most iconic landmarks along the Oregon Trail, and a sacred waypoint for pioneers chasing a new life in the American West. Thousands passed this spot in the mid-1800s, and many left their names behind, etching their legacy into what became known as the Register of the Desert. Whether you are into history, road trips, or just curious about Wyoming's hidden gems, stick around. You're about to discover a true monument to America's frontier spirit. See it up close. Travel across America with me. Believe it or not, we are at a Wyoming rest area. The wind is howling and there is a strong chill in the air. Why am I complaining? I'm not traveling in a covered wagon. Speaking of a covered wagon, when we were here a few years ago, there was a covered wagon at the gate. Unfortunately, the covered wagon is gone. Does anyone know where it went? As we stroll the concrete path in this vast, windswept prairie, under a wide Wyoming sky, approximately 60 miles southwest of Casper, we are along Wyoming Highway 220. I believe that we are at the most important rest stop in all of Wyoming. Rising like a solitary sentinel in the heart of Wyoming, Independence Rock stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of pioneers who journeyed westward in search of new beginnings. Independence Rock is a prominent granite outcrop, measuring 1,900 feet in length, 800 feet in width, and towering 136 feet above the plains. Let's walk around and see what we can find now as we pass through the gate. Signage lines the pathway. Let's take a peek at a few of the signs. The cool, clear waters and grassy banks of the Sweetwater River create an oasis in the arid landscape found in this part of Wyoming. This is a natural travel corridor. Naming of the landmark. It is believed that William Sublett named this landmark Independence Rock during an Independence Day celebration here on July 4th, 1830. Sublett, a fur trapper and mountain man, had stopped at the site while leading an expedition to the Wind River to trap fur bearers and trade with Native Americans. In just over 3 decades, close to 500,000 pioneers passed by Independence Rock on their way to new homes on the frontier. To leave evidence of their passage, thousands of names were inscribed on the rock using chisels, axle grease, paint, and tar. Tell me where you have seen signatures on rocks similar to this. Since the days of westward expansion, Independence Rock and the Sweetwater Valley continue to be associated with fascinating stories and gatherings important to Wyoming history. I like this one. They talked about Ezra Meeker and how he was what I know as the father of the Oregon Trail. Meeker met with President Theodore Roosevelt and convinced him to assign priority to marking and protecting immigrant trails on federal lands. What makes this place special isn't just its size, but what's written all over it. Thousands of names, initials, and dates have been left by immigrants traveling west in the 1800s. They claim there's been over 5,000 names and messages etched into its surface. Since the last time we were here, the plaques and many of the remaining signatures have been fenced off. I often comment in my videos of how destructive individuals too often are destroying and restricting access to fantastic places. This is under surveillance. All of the inscriptions were left by immigrants traveling the Oregon, California, Mormon, and Pony Express trails between the 1830s and the 1860s. Here are a few quotes from real pioneers. Came to Independence Rock about 10 o'clock this morning. I presume there are 1 million of names wrote on this rock. Lydia Allen Rudd, 1852. Names are everywhere upon its surface to be seen. Names of the young and the old, of the man and his gentle mate, of the learned traveler and the yellow-eyed gold hunter, Charles B. Darwin, 1849. The majority of these overlanders were on their 2,000-mile trek from Missouri to the West Coast. The pioneers traveling the Mormon Pioneer Trail would be stopping to establish their homes east of the Great Salt Lake, in what is now Utah. Independence Rock marked a critical checkpoint, and if travelers could reach it by July 4th, they'd likely be able to make it through the Rockies before winter. Can you just hear all the stories that people shared with the others as they congregated around this massive outcrop, sharing their dreams for the future and telling of the past they had left behind back in the East? Explore as much as you have time for and count how many of the names you found. It stands as a historic symbol of westward expansion envisioned by President Thomas Jefferson and the core of discovery that he had sent out as part of America's manifest destiny. Independence Rock stands not only as a natural wonder, but as a monument to the courage and determination of those who traversed the American frontier in pursuit of a new life. As you continue down the path back to your vehicle, imagine the sights and sounds as westbound travelers were pleased they had reached the halfway point. Today, Independence Rock is a Wyoming State Historic Site managed by Wyoming State Parks, Historic Sites, and Trails. It's free to visit. If you ever find yourself crossing Wyoming, make time to stop at Independence Rock. Stand where the pioneers stood. Read their names and realize that these were husbands, dads, fathers, brothers, and sons, wives, moms, mothers, sisters, and daughters. And remember, they carved not just a trail, but the beginning of a nation's journey west. As I mentioned earlier, it is actually a rest stop with a huge parking lot and restrooms, making it a quick, easy stop for everyone. For more information on visiting Independence Rock, the National Park Service prints a terrific National Historic Trails Auto Route Tour Interpretive Guide for these amazing trails broken down by region. So happy trails! If you like exploring the rich history of the American West as an armchair traveler or someone searching out great places to visit, subscribe to my Unclassic Road Trip channel. It's filled with videos about historic U.S. travel destinations and American history. Ugly shoes on the ground. Unclassic Road Trip. Thank you for leaving a comment.